Another person who was so important in their care was Dr. Stan Augustin. He is the Trauma Medical Director and Clinical Care Specialist at Centerpoint Trauma and Surgical Services. And thank you so much for being here. When you look at that, that's a real moment when you see how many people that it took to save 2 lives.
Yes, in trauma situations, it's a very, very hectic and chaotic, but we practice and we run drills for this at all times. To get these patients to the hospital requires a numerous individuals from the emergency room, emergency services,
Sure.
fire, police. And when we get to the emergency room, we have fantastic staff of emergency room nurses, physicians, respiratory. It's a coordinated deal to take care of these patients.
It is. And you know, one thing we really didn't mention is that it is National EMS Appreciation Week. So when you look at really from the site where something happens, those people are really critical and key in saving lives as well.
Yes, that's exactly right. Our emergency response providers, they have a very difficult job, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in all weather, to risk their lives to get these patients brought to the emergency room so we can do what we do. So they are very critical in what we do.
So here we are. It's Memorial Day holiday weekend, 3-day weekend. I imagine the trauma center is gearing up. What are some of the traumas that you're expecting and preparing for, and what can you say to the public in terms of being careful and being very watchful so they can avoid having to come see you?
That's a very good point. At our trauma center, we see 65,000 emergency room visits, with 12,000 being by our EMS providers. We see 1,200 trauma cases a year, so we're very busy. So we see a lot of car crashes, motorcycle crashes, falls from height, and in addition to a number of other various injuries. So it's important that when you are out and about, that you have in your phone emergency contacts easily that we can identify. If you have a complex medical history, keep your medications in your history in your pocket. And if it's a situation that you can't communicate, that we at least have an idea of exactly what your medical issues are.
Wow, all good advice. Dr. Stan Augustin, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for what you do over at Centerpoint and the whole team there. Thanks so much again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Happy Memorial Day to you.
Thank you.